with MakingStarWars.net.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and today I am joined by Sketchcraft, who's
What's up?
You're bleeping out of reality. He went back in time, and his parents never met. And well, good luck, dude. I hope you exist.
I'm happier.
And we got Max, who we are silencing. We are saying, Max, we don't want to hear it today. No, Max, you have to show up. You have to be here with us. You have to hang out with us. We like you. We like having you around.
Just perform.
Perform. Yeah, you're a very jovial person. You really bring the show up. But I will say today we're not going to hear it. We silence. Max.
How'd you feel about Sonic 2? Right, Max? Right.
Yeah. I got a text message after you left the movie saying it was the best movie you'd ever seen and that I should go see it immediately. I think is what you said.
Look, I get why fans love this. I am the mark for a Sonic movie. I want you to know every time that Sonic, their little Sonic Sega logo plays before the movie, it's got a little game screen.
Sega. Does it say
Honestly, man, I almost choke up. All right,
Yeah?
like I get verklempt. Right.
Yeah.
I really liked the first movie, even though I was like, no way it was gonna be good. But they did something with this sequel that everyone's like, oh, I like it. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. If you like,
go ninja,
bro. Go. Literally, I'll get to that. But what I would say is, if you're like, I like Secret of the Ooze, then this is the movie for you. Where they take whatever you did in the first film and they just keep going wackier, right? What I like about the first Turtles movie, and to an extent the first Sonic movie, though I didn't know I would like it, was they put a cartoon character in the real world. The real world was the real world. The only person in the real world that's crazy or cartoony is Robotnik. Everyone else is a straight man. But in Sonic 2, Earth is it's a big dodge. You know the movie Dodgeball, like it's a little Nicky Earth, you know, he literally gets into a dance off with Russians in Siberia. I don't know, man. It's when I walked out. Like I walked out the film, so it's not for Rob.
I like spaceships.
I sat there telling myself, I'm like, this really feels like Secret of the Ooze, and I don't want to sit through Secret of the Ooze ever again. I didn't enjoy it when it came out. I don't like it now. And they did it.
Hey,
and when they get to the dance off, I'm like,
Max, I heard your mic.
Jim, you know?
Yeah, I
yes.
heard you.
I knew if I complained, she'd show up.
Oh,
my complaints.
Is that good or bad?
But so you don't think I'm a heartless bastard, right?
Yeah,
I'm one of the two. I saw Everywhere, Everything, All at Once last night, and let me tell you, man, that fucking movie is amazing.
It's really good.
And Ki Huai Kwan. I unfortunately cannot pronounce his name properly. Actor from Temple of Doom and Goonies. Yeah. My favorite childhood actor. Really needs to be in an Indiana Jones film after that. He's fucking amazing. Like everyone's great. The daughter is a spitting image of my cousin Rosie, which was really weird to see. So I was getting like half my childhood on screen. So, you know, I was like, this is fucking weird. But it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, I saw it too. And I thought it was really good. It is a movie that I think people should. It is really good, but people could end up it could get like overblown by how good it is. Like I think like it kind of like it gets good pretty fast, and then it stays that good the whole time. Though I loved it though. I think
it's somewhere between Eternal Sunshine and the Spotless Mind and Kung Fu Hustle. Like if I could say, if you like I don't like saying something's like something else because it kind of takes away what that movie is. Right. I would say if you're a fan of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and adaptation and like Charlie Kaufman-esque like films and Stephen Chow, you know, kind of over the top cinema, then this is that blend, you know, it's right in between.
Yeah. You and I were talking before it started about how much we missed that guy. Like you didn't really realize how much you missed him until this.
I didn't realize how much of my childhood revolved around his. I got to tell you, I saw Temple of Doom as many times as the first two Star Wars films. Like That would be my trilogy. I'd go, Star Wars, Empire, Temple Doom. Like, I just really, Short Round was like, that was the kid I looked up to the most. Like, that was, I don't know, man. That's my favorite. And so, like, childhood actor, and like, I didn't realize, man, this dude. I miss this dude. His acting he's so good. He's so likable, and then he's such a bad. I don't know, man, dude. It's awesome. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. No, a part of me wonders if the way that they used him in the past would be considered problematic in terms of depictions of Asian cultures, and if that has actually hurt him in his career moving forward. Is Disney afraid to touch Short Round today? You know what I mean?
Well, you can address that in a really responsible way.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You just don't make them into fucking cartoon characters any more than the show does itself amongst humans. But at the same time, I wonder if they're just like, whoa, hands off. I don't know. I'm just curious.
I would say this though. At the time, like I said, my cousin Rosie, she's half she's half American, half Japanese, and like my Aunt Maggie's from Okinawa, and so like all her Asian friends, no one was like bitching. Everyone was like, there's a kid and who had his Vietnamese name, right? Because we lived in a strong Vietnamese community out in Kearney Mesa in San Diego. It still is. It's amazing, vibrant community. And at the time, people might say now problematic, but who was up there with a Vietnamese name in two major Hollywood films? That everyone. Look, I mean, I know the adults didn't like Temple Doom, but every kid loved Temple Doom. And it's all we talked about was pulling the hearts out and minecart rides.
When I was a kid, everybody just seemed stoned and really into like every movie that came out that was big. I mean, I don't think people were, at least in my world, they thought Beastmaster was pretty fucking good. And Temple of Doom,
I thought it was He-Man. That's how stoned I was.
But
I did. He's blonde. He's got pets.
I don't feel like Temple of Doom really had that hard of a time, and until after Last Crusade, when they kind of went back to that straight up like pop. Like Last Crusade was the most popcorn movie they could make at the time. I will
be as truthful as I can be here in saying that the only time I ever heard a complaint, the first time I ever heard a complaint from kids, not my uncles, right, who were the internet, about a film was Masters of the Universe. That was the first time I heard this is stupid. And it wasn't because they weren't into He-Man. They were feeling the nostalgia. They were still, they all win. They were excited. It looked cool, They did not like it.
No, I remember being like pretty pissed at He-Man leaving Eternia, and I'm like, at first I was like, "What? You left Eternia? Are you serious? What?"
I think we were also feeling
for
more Star Wars at the time, and that felt like it could have provided the more Star Wars.
They're complete fucking jackasses. They could have literally had that right there.
They could have had it.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know how true it is. But I saw like a video blaming the death of He-Man on the She-Ra toy line, and I'm like,
that's bullshit.
It wasn't for me. It was the death of He-Man coincided with that movie because you were like, there's nowhere to go. Like that was your chance. That was like got to the big leagues, He-Man, and you shat.
I was a fan of She-Ra, but I gotta tell you, everyone on the schoolyard was a fan of Thundercats. They weren't making fun of She-Ra. It wasn't in their consciousness. You know what I mean? It wasn't in their wheelhouse. They weren't even thinking about it. They were thinking about Thundercats. So, but the movie was the thing that killed it. The movie tanked. It was. But anyway, what I just want to say is like, I get people could say it's problematic or whatever. I mean, you could say that about just about anyone in an Indiana Jones film from the 80s. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is irrelevant to me. I mean, like Germans don't really act the way they do in an Indiana Jones film. Forget the Nazis, just the normal Germans. They're not that way.
Yeah, so if they were to use them, they don't need to pretend like it's 1984. If they were ever to use them in an Indiana Jones movie again, which they completely should.
Cinematically, we never found out what happened to Short Round. And more to the point, I just felt he was he was like a kid. He was the son to Indiana Jones. And when Mutt come along, I'm like, that's when like, oh, that's your real kid? Ah, fuck, I don't. You know, I'm adopted. I'm like, I don't like the real kid.
Want to know what I think happened? What? So I think like after Temple of Doom, Indy, Willie, Short Round, they like, they go back to the West. And there's this like, Indy, he goes back to teaching. He's busy all the time. And we got like, we got Short Round, and he's about 18 years old now. He's grown up quite a bit. At one point, Indy hasn't been home in weeks, and they're like cooking some food, some potatoes. And then he looks at her and he goes, sometimes I just want to let you know, you could hold on to your potatoes. And then she takes the potatoes in her hand. She's like, yeah, I want to hold on to your potatoes. And then Indy comes back and they have a kid. And Indy's like, what is going on here? And then they're like, leave. You were never a good father. You were never there for me. You left me. And Willie's like, yeah, I'm a woman and I have needs. And then we got laughed.
I just figured Willie had adopted him and they had a nice
probably
performing career out in East Asia.
So they probably didn't get married, is what you're saying?
No. No, she was like a mom to get out of here. What are you doing? She's blonde. She could carry him.
I mean, maybe she took his skills in martial arts, stuff like that, and they turned him into into a movie star. She became his agent. Let's be real here, though. Her career was done by the time when she was out there at Lao Che. Was it Lao Che?
They love her in India. She could have been the first Westerner, that helped hook up Bollywood, right?
But she should have been
musicals and shit.
If she was somebody, she would have been with Bob Hope. Okay, she was in an Indiana Jones bar. The career, it wasn't.
Well, you know what? They could have took that act on the road during the USO tours during World War II.
Exactly.
There's a whole thing there,
So what you're saying is that they're going to be de-aging Bob Hope. And that's going to be the next Indiana Jones. Is that your scoop?
But to get really quick, just to get back to Sonic, we're going to get to Star Wars in a minute, but it's a short work day, right? Yeah. So short news day, folks. But to get back to Sonic 2, the thing about the first movie that never sat right with me is they made the human character a cop. And I'm like, Sonic, what if he was like, because no one likes him, right? He's weird. I'm like, why wouldn't he's a good looking dude and he's a cop, and this is like 2000 something America. Everyone would be kissing this dude's ass, especially in redneck nowhere. He should have been like a software developer because like a game guy, right? Like a nerdy
a
game
tech
dude.
guy.
Because the end of the film takes place in San Francisco. So he would want to, he was trying to become a cop in San Francisco. No, you'd want to move to Silicon Valley and become like a tech dude. You see what I mean? Like, but he could stay there and then make Sonic the Hedgehog the video game. Like at the end of the movie, he turned Sonic into a video game. Like that seemed like the fucking obvious choice, right? Like get you the same storyline because his cop skills are not necessary. Like he doesn't do anything that's important to be.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah. That's my only real gripe about the movie, but whatever.
Sonic 1?
I really enjoyed it. Sonic 1. Sonic 2, it's not for me. It's like like the humor and the jokes that are in Deadpool 1, and then when you get to Deadpool 2, it's like, yeah, it's cool jokes, but they wrote them a lot faster.
Yeah.
And they kind of don't hit the same way. They're like off somehow, or they're forcing it with the ad-libbing. It's like that. And there's a cacophony to the music where it's just like blah, 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 blah. I don't get it. I don't get the movie. It's not for me. I had to walk out.
So wait, that was what Go Ninja Go did?
The thing is, though, is the Go Ninja Go was they do a dance off. It was the final straw. I said, if they get into a fucking dance off, I'm walking out, and they did it. Like I was like, I'm out of here. This is for little kids. It's like Turtles 1 was for like it was feeling that Ghostbusters vibe. The director even said, Steve Barron said that he was trying to get that Ghostbusters vibe. And I felt the Sonic 1 was trying to get that 90s movie vibe, but like the better version of it, not the worst version, more like Mask, less like Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know, but Sonic 2 is like, oh, now it's really for little kids. I'm like, yeah, it's really, they literally translate he farted into subtitles. Like after you hear it, like I heard the joke. I
So-
don't need you to write the joke
so
out
Sonic
too,
2?
in subtitle.
More like Sonic Chew. The Chris, whatever. What was that guy's name? You know that one guy, Chris Chan? Sonic Chew.
Chris.
Chris
Oh
Chan
no,
was
I
Sonic
forget.
Chew.
I don't even know that. I only know that story when it all went wrong. So I'm
Yeah. Oh, boy, does it go wrong.
But if you like it, I get why you do. Just understand, I can't sit through Turtles 2. Like I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Well,
So,
I will
there you
say, who gives a shit about video game movies for the most part? Make video
yeah.
games.
You have no
Like-
soul.
Here's a video game movie for you. Bespin Bulletin says Bespin Tinkertown. Development on Star Wars Eclipse going better than previously reported. So it's not as bad as it seems, I guess. According to
Sure.
reliable video game insider account NGT, development on the controversial Star Wars Eclipse is going smoother than what recent reports suggested. Okay, I like this. I like where this is going right now. Not as bad. You may be unfamiliar with account NGT, but the insider was first to reveal that the Quantic Dream Star Wars game was titled Eclipse, and he posted images from the trailer alongside the information on the game itself weeks before the trailer debuted at the 2021 Game Awards in December. Since then, NGT has had a bevy of reliable reports for other titles and has been a consistent source on what's happening at Quantic Dream. NGT offered a brief update on the projects Quantic Dream are working on via their Twitter account and shared the following quote. Another report I got confirms again the existence of a Dark Sorcerer game based game from Quantic Dream that I reported on a few months ago. Star Wars Eclipse would be the next big game that Quantic Dream would release, though. Apparently, the development is going better than some would have you believe. Okay, but what does that mean?
What did they build a whole new engine that can do open world shit all of a sudden? I'm trying to figure out how that miraculously did they acquire new tech and they're building it. I don't understand. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. That's odd.
Well-
Like, the problems we reported on really largely are based. Forget the staffing issues and everything else. Is based around that their tech was made for a point and click adventure like scenario, and they want an open world multiplayer co-op game. I don't understand how that happens in like 6 months.
well, one thing that I was suggesting could be the case too. What if job listings were left open or even renewed, but they didn't need to be? What if those jobs were filled and they were still seeing people for duplicate positions, or you know what I mean, stuff like that? I was just throwing out the potential for that because some of the earlier reports hinged on hiring issues and the idea that people wouldn't work for Quantic Dream for politics. Gotta be honest with you, I am a little bit that sounds like a
buy
beautiful
that.
world to live in, but I don't really buy that too much because if you gotta
People
eat,
have rent.
if you got a family,
Yeah.
you're gonna take the fucking job at Quantic Dream if you don't have a job and you need to pay the rent.
Yeah,
At the end of
I've
the
had
day-
to take jobs with people I just don't fundamentally. You wouldn't know them, but I've had to work with companies that I don't agree with on any level. I don't like the people.
I knew
owning them.
Larry. You hated Larry.
Yeah.
You fucking hated him.
I hated them, but I lived in San Diego. I had to pay. I had to live. What do you
Yeah.
do? You know, like it's the way it works. It's the
Yeah.
world.
I know. Max knows, right, Max?
Exactly.
Max knows.
I know.
Well, Max can live off UBI, right? She's getting all that sweet Danish money.
What?
What?
I don't know. Don't they all don't work out there, right? That's what Fox News would have you believe. They just get free money. Socialists.
The reports I believe NGT is referring to is likely those by Tom Henderson, who I believe Tom Henderson is famous because his family in the 80s ran over a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch. They raised it and he became a member of the family. Lovely man. He grew up to be a lovely
Guilty
man.
as charged.
And
Mitt
anyway,
Romney's like, I could have hit a Bigfoot.
the reports I believe NGT is referred to is likely those by Tom Henderson, who is also a very reliable video game insider in his own right, who most recently reported on X-Fire that Eclipse is aiming for a 2027-2028 release due to a slew of issues, with major factor being the studio struggling to hire staff for the project, with the allegations the studio faces more than likely being the key reason the studio struggled to hire the talent needed for the title. If you're unfamiliar with the allegations, then I strongly suggest you read them here, along with misogynistic and homophobic comments made by Quantic Dream executive David Cage. Sometimes I don't know. It's like do we really live in a world where a guy renames himself David Cage, but he makes comments that are inappropriate? Because someone named David Cage, who sounds like a villain in an 80s kung fu movie, sounds like he would just really be on the up and up to me. I don't know, Bespin. Anyways, I'm joking, obviously. Comments.
And props to Ke Huy Quan for not changing his name to like Ricky Speedboat. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that back in the 80s too. So people could fucking, like you could see that one.
Well, I mean, if you know what would have made him untouchable? If his name was Tommy Turbo. Like Tommy Turbo, what the fuck are you gonna do to Tommy Turbo? You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, babes? What's up, everybody? Hey, what word offends you? I'm gonna say that to your face because I'm Tommy Turbo. What the fuck you gonna do about it?
It would have been really sweet if he had just changed his stage name to Corey something, so he could have joined the Corys in the 80s, right? It would have been Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and Corey Kwan. Like that.
What if his name was Haim Feldman? Feldman Haim. What's up, Feldman Haim? How's it going?
And then Michael Jackson ditches Feldman for Corey Kwan, and
then he gets kidnapped by the Hollywood deep state, who just have a good time with him. Anyways, NGT.
Poor guy.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't know. Does Bespin have to say comments we here at Bespin Bulletin do not agree with their support? I mean, does he?
It's one dude.
Does he have to say it? But yeah, how many are there of you, Bespin? We are legion at Bespin Bulletin.
There's one of them. Well, it's like Boba Fett saying he has a criminal syndicate. No, it's you.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Bespin Bulletin just wants to report with respect. Okay, let's just leave it at that, I guess.
I get that.
HGT responded to fellow Twitter users and said they believe that Eclipse would probably release sometime in 2025, 2 to 3 years before Henderson's estimates, and only 1 year behind the initial reports. Henderson's report claimed that due to the studio's struggle to hire staff and issues with their QD engine, Eclipse has internally delayed from 2024-2027 to 2028. God, it's really not that far away, but when I see those dates, I feel like they're talking about the year 2000 and 1984. Like, doesn't that just feel like 2028 feels like it's just like fucking 3,000 years away?
Yeah.
But it's not. Reports surrounding the development issues noted that the QD's engine architecture is not built for a game at the scope of Eclipse, which is set to bolster open world elements along with multi-planet travel and multiplayer features. It was even reported by Henderson that one of the reasons Eclipse was shown so early was in hope that a publisher would come forward to acquire Quantic Dream, as the studio has been looking to get acquired since their 3-game deal with Sony ended in 2018. It has been reported that NetEase Games have acquired the studio, and after previously holding a majority stake in the studio dating back to 2019. And then you could buy Bespin a coffee. You could also support this channel by becoming a channel member, or you could super chat the fuck out of me, and that would be nice too. But
so he didn't. But this leaker or whatever, this insider didn't address that engine issue. So did they scale the scope? They had to. One of two things happened. This is just the reality. One, the new publisher has an internal engine that can do what they want to do, and the staff that they've scaled up is already trained on that engine. Okay,
right.
NetEase has a lot of different, open world type MMO engines available to them. It's possible. Nothing so far that I've seen rendered at the resolution of cinematic Star Wars quality. It's all very anime-ish or, hand painted textures, I would say. So, all right, let's put it that way. So that's one option. Two, they just scaled the scope down. It's no longer co-op and open world. It'll give you the illusion through maybe like the way they maneuver through things, but it's like fake.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one of the two things.
I don't. We don't really know anything about the game. Nobody's seen a real frame of the actual game itself. That trailer was made by a third party, and so when I will say, if it's a game that's like if it's a choose your own adventure game that you sort of sleep through and watch as a movie as a passive player, and to be cruel to it, I don't know if that needs multiplayer. To be honest with you. I mean, if it's just about
what if that has co-op but Legos doesn't? It's just like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the real travesty here is that I can't play Lego Star Wars with like Revenge Guy or something on a stream. You know what I mean? That would just be silly and it would be fun. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking on that one. That game is so good, by the way. Like overall, I know a lot of people had to go through some hell for it. I thank you for your service, video game developers, because it's pretty good. It's
and
good.
Props to QA, because I guarantee you, with that many versions of that game being released, that must have been a nightmare. So
it is pretty buggy. Yeah. I will say.
Too many systems simultaneously. That's why I know gamers get mad. Why is it only on one system at launch? I got to wait a year. Because quality assurance across multiple platforms at any level, whether it's indie or AAA, you never have enough people or time. I'm just letting you know. You never have enough people or time. So the more platforms, the more bugs. That's it.
What bugs? Just kidding.
Channel member, thank you, Mr. Tyrant, for being a channel member. Channel member Tyrant says the bulk of the development for Eclipse is being done by QD's new studio in Montreal versus their main studio in Paris, and are using UE with QD's facial capture tech. So
UE is not really known for open world.
What does this mean? You guys are losing me. I don't know.
Unreal Engine.
Oh, okay.
So
got
it's
it.
not really an open world asset game. Like, you have to do a lot of modifications. Now, it's open source, so there's a lot of modifications, but every studio also has its own custom modifications and custom internal. So UE just means that they can hire a lot more people to work on it, but then they have to still customize that material to. So, I mean, look, it's all there, but if people just think you just plug something into Unreal Engine and it works. I'll tell you this, Unreal Engine is really bad on PC. So as much as I love Unreal Engine 5, it requires a lot of an Unreal Engine 4 and all that stuff. The Unreal Engine requires a lot of optimization. And PC, it has all these different parts people get, right? And so it's really CPU intensive, and so you get these really weird frame rate hiccups in games and bottlenecks. It's very difficult. Yeah. So if you are a PC guy, don't get your hopes up about this game anytime soon. Just
okay.
Temper the expectations.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
You guys ever seen Daisy really eat a burrito?
Eat a burrito?
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of cracking me up. I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, we got it. It's fucking funny.
Okay. Let me see. Give it to me.
Hold on. All right. If somebody, you're welcome to somebody. Wait, there we go.
Poor Daisy. She's got excellent manicure though.
Who is that? That sucks that they screenshotted it. No, I know.
That's Chris. That's Chris with no beard. That's what he looks like when he shaves his beard off.
Chris who?
Yeah.
Spreezy.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Spreeze.
What? Yeah. He takes the wig off because that hair's not real. It's too good. And then he shaves the beard, and that's what he looks like.
I don't think Meg's gonna like that picture.
I don't know. She might.
Okay. She gets enough for the one for the guys. All right?
Looks like a taco.
For the guys.
Yeah, it looks like a taco. Then you can. That's fine.
I mean, there are things that people can attach. Darren Ferguson says, "What's with all these rumors that the Obi-Wan show is slowly turning into the Reva Inquisitor show, and she's going to end up the main focal point and get more on-screen time than Ewan McGregor?" Darren, for the record, we're not laughing at you; we're laughing with you. So this is pretty funny because as I was putting that story out, Rob's all, watch all these idiots fucking run with that. Like Rob called it. And
You
Darren,
know,
did he
it
tell
was
you?
my job. I know you don't like my T-shirt studio stories.
I
it's
do.
all-
I like him.
But I was the guy that they basically put in charge. It was me and another buddy of mine of like, okay, here's the designs that are going up there. What's all the ways these could be interpreted poorly by parents or kids on the schoolyard? And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ah. I'll give you a big one. Anytime Spider-Man has his legs
You hear
open,
that? Rob will give
someone's
you a
gonna
big
punch
one.
the nuts.
Wait, Rob will give you what?
Yeah, see? It's the reconnecting I like. Like, I know it sounds weird because she's trying to reconnect.
Horny, who cares?
But, you know, pause up. So, anytime you put up a story, it's not like, oh, where you go wrong. It's just, I just do that. It's just, I did it for so long. It's just like, what way will this go badly? You know, like, what are the things here? And that was the first one. I was like,
yeah, it's really stupid. I mean, it's like I had already given Kenobi's arc over the 6 episodes. Then I gave Reva's arc over the 6 episodes, and then they just decided to run with that and turn it into a scandalous thing. The only thing I could say is that if you watch Star Wars shows and read Star Wars articles, however you get your Star Wars media, if you see somebody doing that, they are fucking with your emotions to milk you. They're giving you anxiety to keep you watching. They're giving you anxiety to make money off of you. And then it comes out, and then they'll just move on to something else, and you will probably forget. So be smarter. I mean, that's all I could say.
Yeah.
Be smarter than.
And I would also
media. Anybody who sells that is fucking stupid and selling you bullshit. Don't fall for it anymore.
And I would also add that if you have any show, Star Wars, Moon Knight, genre-based show, and your antagonists have no story point to them, they just show up to do things like the majority of the people on Boba Fett, right? The complaint would be they don't really have a point. There's nothing to them, you know? Like, so, like, you give someone, it's just.
Well, the best example I would use is if you've seen The Batman. Would you leave that movie going, this movie was all about Catwoman? It was the Catwoman movie, and it was all that because it was a bait and switch.
Because you could have done a whole episode saying, now, you know, her father is Carmine Falcone, and he murdered her mother. You know what I mean? And then he did all this stuff, and so this movie's really about Catwoman and Carmine Falcone. It's not really about Bruce and his parents, right? Like, because if you explain their whole story stuff, like, it would take 30 minutes to kind of go through all of it. You would seem much larger and more important than it kind of. When I say important, like the focus, it's the B story. It's a B story. A movie has to have an A and B story, folks. People get bored when it's just one thing. Like, you cut to something else. Imagine
if Kenobi had no effect upon anybody in his story. If everybody in his story just said, "Hey, it's you," and then walked off frame. What's funny is these people who oftentimes push this sort of shit, propagate it, they will claim that they like are somehow story structure experts. Fucking, right. I don't think these people could put a fucking Lego set together, let alone a story. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think they know what the fuck
structure. The more you know about structure, the more you realize you don't even need it. Like, it's like any other thing.
Did you just go post-structuralist on this show right now?
Yeah, post-structuralist society. Can we make, we're the post-structuralist society. That's where we're at here. It's the shirts. I'm gonna make a little membership cards. And I'll explain to you. You have no structure in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, you have very little structure in Pulp Fiction. What you have are characters making choices and suffering the consequences of those choices, laid out in a set amount of time frame. When people use structure, so-called structure, as a way to write a story, you're going to go, that's boring as shit. Predicted where it was going to go. It's by the numbers. It's stupid. Like, so you learn these things, and then you have to unlearn them, as Yoda would say. Any art, where there's performing. They would tell you, if you learn how to dance, I'm certain they tell you, put your foot here, put there, move to the time and the beat. And then once you actually learn to perform, all that shit goes out the window. Like it's all out the window. Max is like, no, I don't know, Max. I watched someone else Dancing with the Stars. So, you know,
I saw the Billy D episode. I know dancing.
So when these guys, you know, I hate bringing up things like a structure and stuff like that because I know that's a talking point, but I bring it up so that we can have the talking point here and address it, right? But at the same time, to simply say because someone read Michael Hoag's, you know, or Robert McKay's book, or they say, you know, like they took the master class and I watched the video, I understand it. Sure you do, you know. There's very little structure in Calvin and Hobbes, the comic strip. It's not even jokey. Sometimes it's based around a visual, and then you see the interpretation of the visual. That's not a joke.
I think at the end of the day, though, it does come down to you have to know structure to really break it.
To break it, yes.
To break it. It's just like writing. You know, you need to know all of the rules of writing, and if you're going to break it, then you know what you're doing. But yeah, but it depends on what the genre is and how it's being explored. And like Pulp Fiction, it dealt with more pulp tropes about how things end up. About
his most structuralized film was his adaptation of Jackie Brown, which was an adaptation from I'm fucking brain farting right now, dude. The fucking writer, the dude.
Okay.
So, anyways, we need the guy from the other movie.
Yeah, that one.
Michael Keaton's character. What was it?
Multiplicity. You're thinking about Multiplicity right now. That's what you're thinking of. You love Multiplicity.
No.
Dream Team.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not good with
Mr.
names.
Mom.
I try to tell people.
Gung Ho. Was it Gung Ho? Okay.
No.
That'll teach you. That'll teach
Thank
you.
you.
To mention
The thing is I see the colors of the words and they get all confused with the other colors of the letters for me. So out of sight, out back. That's why I was seeing the colors. So
yeah.
Anyway,
colors, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a curse. It's a curse. You know, it makes me appear as dumb as I dumber than I think I am. You know, it's not good.
Yeah.
You're a lot dumber than you think I think you are.
I like that. I like
that. Was
a
line in the movie. That was my line for a movie that I was in.
It's a pretty good line.
That's good.
It is.
It's a good line.
Anyways, what I was gonna say though is that I mean, it's like what I find personally though like offensive about it is what they're doing is they're walking this line because Reva's a person of color and they're using that to fuel the fire for gain. They know that yet the racist people are going to get fucking and they're just down. They're down for that business. Unlike the mythical people who won't take jobs at Quantic Dream, these people are willing to take money from anybody anyhow, anyway. And I just think that's like super fucked. And I don't think it's a part of the story. I don't think it matters to the story whatsoever. I think Reva could have been a man. Reva could have been a white man. It literally would not matter.
Could have been a mod.
It could have been a mod. It really no. I mean, it truly does not like where they're taking it is completely fucking irrelevant, and they're actually like doing, I think, a very dirty thing. And I
believe the goal with that character isn't to throw in some person of color or gender to give them a role. It's to show a parallel to Luke and Leia, you know, and to show the downside to were the Jedi's just stealing children. You know, were they willing joining they weren't signing up for the Jedi Order, you know, like
it's a lot smarter than that too, because like Reva is in the same position as Kenobi. They all really kind of like all of the characters talk to each other in terms of their like place. You know what I'm saying? And she's she could have been Nari and Kenobi, or she could have been Reva. And to some extent, she was Leia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or even Kenobi at one point, she was taken from her family too. So, but just to wrap it up, Darren, those people they're fucking jackasses. That's all I can say. Hey, as it true, how's it going, dude? Hope you're enjoying the old Lego Star Wars. As it true says, was catching up on the show about the Raylos only the other day. Were the crazies making Daisy trending on Twitter for having an affair with Adam just last week? Mistook a woman in a photo for her. That is nuts. They are fucking nuts.
What?
Like, yeah, like I know not all Raylos are crazy, but you know what? I'm actually gonna throw it out there. If you're an adult person and you identify as something that's like an amalgamation of people, fucking grow up. That's fucking weird.
I identify as a Raylo. Just kidding.
Yeah, you should. No, I'm kidding. No, but no, you know what? But I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying is like I'll say like, oh yeah, I'm a Raylo. Like, I enjoy with this thing because you fall into the internet trope. If that's part of your identity, you're fucking nuts. You know what I mean? Like do something better. Like, do something else. I don't know. You know, get like a maybe a hobby and some interest.
Do your
Bro.
taxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
become a tax person. That's way more interesting than somebody who.
As William Shatner once said, "Get a life." Right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just so weird to me. You know, I mean, yeah. Meg says, I just came into the stream and saw Ray with something in her mouth.
It's a taco. It's not a burrito.
it's a burrito.
We all know though. It doesn't matter either way you cut it. Pretty girls aren't very good at things. No, I'm kidding. Tyrant, they don't try hard. Tyrant says, is there a reason to have a hope for a Cage Quantic Dream game regardless of the license? Watch like a 2-minute clip of Detroit's cutting edge style. That's what I say, Tyrant. Like that's
Right.
exactly where I'm coming from. Is I put on some of some of the gameplay, just like watch people playing it, and I'm like, this is just cringy, and oftentimes like the logic is very stupid, and maybe people would get lost in the beauty of Star Wars design, and it would, hey, how did you know my college name? Jason Milk Me Ward, but
That's like it sounds like you're calling it your ward.
the Milk Me Ward. Please welcome. This is the world of milking. Luke Skywalker's like, hey, I love it. I love blue milk. Darren says, I think they're going to bring it up on Nerd Theory tonight. Josh seemed concerned. Oh, did Josh seem concerned? Jeez. Yeah, I bet you Josh is really concerned.
Really concerned.
Josh is. Hey, Josh went to film school. He should know exactly how this is going to play out, right?
Yeah, he learned how to spend probably $70,000 and hasn't made a movie yet. Congratulations.
Don't worry, he's working tons in super chats. Pimp Stick Jr. says Jackie Brown based on Rum Punch.
Rum Punch. Thank you.
Rum Punch.
Thank you. That's the movie I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Hey, Richie, how's it going, Richie? Jason, any word if they'll show any Indy 5 footage at the live action panel at Celebration? Probably only Star Wars stuff, obviously, but they are done shooting and it's Lucasfilm property. You never know. Yeah, I was personally hoping for there maybe to be like a Lucasfilm panel about other Lucasfilm projects where maybe we get something from Indy and something from Willow. I would almost say that Willow is more likely to be shown at Celebration if they're smart, because you need Star Wars people consuming Willow. Indiana Jones.
Plus Warwick is great on stage, bro.
Warwick is great on stage. Yeah, he should be hosting it. Really,
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not, but maybe because of Willow, maybe he's burnt out or something. I do think. Well, no, I mean he just went and filmed like a whole series.
I know.
Maybe he doesn't want to go.
Willow burnout is like just what a tough life to have, Like,
It's a lot of work.
Oh, I'm so burnt out on Willow. Okay. Like,
You think you could just bring this smile right here to the screen, and that's not work? Look at that smile.
He's happy.
So cute.
But no, but anyways, what I was gonna say was is that it actually like getting Star Wars fans interested in Willow is where this needs to be going. It's what they should be doing the whole time. They really should be trying to get that overlap going. Willow it's just fantasy Star Wars at the end of the day. Almost 100%. The only difference is that somebody else did the music that wasn't John Williams, but I will say probably one of the top 5 themes of the 80s. That Willow theme is so fucking good. So suck it, John Williams. You're not the only game in town in 1988.
It's not as good as RoboCop's theme.
What? You are high right now.
Oh, that
Not as good as
song,
RoboCop.
RoboCop Dance to Your Drop.
Maybe not as good as the
RoboCop.
RoboCop dance move itself,
That's what,
or the
you remember
Cabbage
the
Patch.
song, right?
Yeah.
You remember that song, right?
Oh yeah, I'll do the Cabbage Patch right now if I have to. But anyways, I kind of think that that indie is strong enough to hold on its own, just as its own separate thing. I would love if they did though. I'd love if they did something for indie there. But I think it's too far out. I think it's so far away that just doing anything on it will just be like, wow, that was cool. And then it will pass and fade into time with actually like no real win for them other than in the celebration moment. I don't think it's strategically sound, unlike Willow.
Had they ever had a Lucasfilm panel at Star Wars Celebration?
No, they've never made anything else, but like in modern Star Wars time, they did Red Tails and Strange Magic, which is, by the way, the worst ELO song of all time.
Is it?
I think so.
Strange Magic?
I think Strange Magic as a song is a little overrated compared to a lot of ELO's extensive catalog. Yeah.
I saw that movie though.
Oh yeah, was it
Not
any
a
good?
movie.
I liked it.
Liked
You didn't
it?
like it?
Sorry.
I liked Red Tails. I thought
You
Red
don't like
Tails was.
anything, Rob. I'm just kidding.
I love Ranking
It
of
was
Kings.
all right. It was.
It's fantastic
It
anime.
suck ass.
Yeah, I actually like just on like a real like Debbie Downer note.
Come on.
Look at how hard they were on Rose Tico.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking like the straight up racist internet bullies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious. I also wonder what I'll be framed for on that front for this next one. That quartering guy, he said I was the one who harassed Kelly Marie Tran. It was a liberal false flag operation.
Shut the fuck up.
You fucking nutbag. But
Dragon
yeah,
The fact that conservatives identify with Star Wars is just beyond laughable to me.
it's very strange to me. It is very strange. It's a story about the new
Like Strange
generation, redeeming the sins of the father. But when your philosophy is basically conservatism, it's saying the father's sins were okay. It was better. We should hold on to it.
And don't tell the kids it'll bum them out. You know, it makes me think about like in a fictional world, like I guess if you sat down with someone in Cobra Kai and they also liked Goonies, but they were rooting for Troy. Or they saw themselves as the Goonies while they were kicking off the Goonies out of their houses. You know what I mean? Like there's a weird disconnect. Like they don't get it. They're the villains. Like that's why that's it. It's cut and dry. If you don't get it, then you're fucking delusional. Like
Jeremy's.
Yeah. So MB says Josh on Den of Nerds isn't worried about Reva. It was tongue in cheek, almost making fun of people who go so far on woke alerts for hits. Okay, good. Yeah, good for him.
Good. It's good to hear.
Baymax says, seriously, I can't wait for Nerd 3 tonight. 2 guys get capital C concerned about another guy's story read from another guy's website, getting very concerned. Their guys heard that too.
Oh, by the way, props to Campy. I was watching Campy and them, and they brought up one of your stories last week. Mm-hmm. Forgive me if I remember which one it is. Just that it came from Comic Book Resources, but John and them did mention this show.
Oh, thanks,
via MakingStarWars.net. So there you go, right? Like, it could have dropped. Oh, I think it was the Reva stuff, and they were all super excited about it. You know,
Good.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody thank Max. Max did it.
I'm saying it for you.
Max. You know what bums me out is no one was excited about Grogu in his IG-88 armor. Like,
right?
That's the one that they're dropping the ball on. That great visual, bro. when
that comes out,
do you have the toy? Do you have that toy pic someone made?
Oh no, I don't know if I still have it.
Fuck, you got to bring it up. Someone made their own version of it. But when you see the toy pic, and it's not saying it's how it's going to appear in the show, but when you see that, you're like, that totally fucking works. Like 100%. Like it's so good.
So it was a different picture?
It's just someone made their own fan interpretation of the idea.
Yeah, somebody heard. Yeah, somebody heard the story and made their own version of it. I'm trying to see if I still have it on my phone here. I don't think I do by the looks of things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to about, I think Bespin Bulletin did a poll on it, and there were about 12,000 votes. 6,000 said it was horrible, and 6,000 said it was great. And I can't wait for the other 6,000 of those people to be all giddy about it and talking about how great it is.
And they're going to be like, I loved that idea when it came out.
They will, Max. You know they will. They will. It was so great. I knew it all the time. I knew Pattinson would be my favorite Batman ever. Like, right.
I have Baymax's art for it, but it's not the toy that someone did was really fun, but I don't have it on me. That's all I got is Baymax.
Yeah, that's not cute. I get Baymax. It's cute, but the toy is the one that sells it. That's the one that
Yeah, no, I wish I could get a photo of it. That way I could draw it myself and actually like convey it, a bit closer, but I'm sure that'll happen. Junkbox says nothing grows the channel better than drama. Screw nerd theory. Rob and James and Max for life. Who's James?
James. Jason.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
The real mastermind behind the show, Jason.
Jeremy.
Don't you know that?
Some guy named Jeremy. Baymax says Star Wars Qui-Gon and On are very concerned. Blow that dog whistle and take all a beautiful super rage chats coin. Yeah, that's true.
By the way, we're only 5 weeks out from this series, so it's just like, and probably 4 weeks from the next trailer. And I gotta be honest, man, I'm starting to get a little hyped up. Getting a little excited. Like they're getting a little tingle.
My name is Jonas. My name is Jonas.
Jonas, not Jonah.
Jonas.
Embrace your Jonas.
My name is Jonas. Yeah, but I do think that when people see Grogu like in the IG-11 thing, I think people are going to be I think they're going to feel an exhilaration that they haven't felt.
They're going to pee all over themselves.
No one gave a shit when you told them about the N1 Starfighter fucking like a year ago, But then when it happened, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" But if you polled people a year ago, how do you feel about N1 Starfighter being? If 6,000 people wouldn't care, 6,000 people would. It's tough when you describe a visual, But you sell a visual, people will never fucking forget it,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely blows my mind that we are this far into Disney Star Wars, and I know there's a new sucker born every minute that becomes a fan, so to speak. But it's weird how our collective ability to read this stuff at this point is so fucking poor. Like, I don't understand why, like, people should be very good at interpreting spoilers and what they mean and how this is going to go every single time. I mean, but here we are once again at Kenobi. We're back to square one. We're right back in it, and it's like, I guess my problem is that I'm looking at stuff as if there's some kind of like sincerity with things when there isn't, perhaps. Sabersmith just
Little
got
sincerity.
me. Just sent me the picture. Thank you, Sabersmith. Much appreciated.
Show me.
If it isn't this,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a bummer because it's so good. Like I'm hyping it up too much now. It's not so good, Rob. It's fucking excellent design.
Yeah, I don't know who made this, so I apologize. I'm not, trying to steal your credit or anything, but
it's fan made.
Oh my god!
Right?
That's so cool.
Great that is. That's it.
That's so awesome.
He's got the ears.
How the
at the
fuck
top.
is that not awesome?
Right?
How-
He's he could hold the helmet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, I do think in reality he's more in the chest cavity like area.
Yeah,
of
I
it
figured
for what it's worth.
It's more like the Matrix 3 mechs or something, or or like they're like in the center. But that top one is so good.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think like when you're a kid, you know, like you go on the playground, like you pretend to be Voltron if you're like of our generation and stuff like that. I think they're gonna love pretending that their body is IG-11 and they're Grogu, you know, that kind of stuff. I think those kind of and imagine how cool the Halloween costume it could be.
Oh my god.
Like the
Yeah,
IG-11, like the IG-11 suit with the little Grogu fucking stuffed animal here.
Oh
It'd
god.
be
say
fun.
what you want about the Bay formers, but you always see those kids who make those like cardboard versions of those costumes where they can actually like sit down and transform into them, and they get up and like the the
Yeah.
doors are like their wings and shit. Like they're really fucking cool, you know? Like
Yep. The guy who played IG-11 died.
No.
oh no.
Yeah, the actor. I'm trying to look it up. I meant to have that news story
Oh, that
up.
sucks.
Yeah, but Rio Hackford, he played IG-11 and he died. And I was kind of curious if the character of Rio in Solo Star Wars story came from his name in some way, because he's buddies with Favreau. Favreau played Rio. Probably just a coincidence though. But Rio Hackford played IG-11 in the first season of The Mandalorian, and I don't know if he played IG-11 in the new season. I kind of don't think he did. Not to, but it's like, cause it's like a different kind of puppet. But it is a person like in a suit, like a puppet suit, kind of like 3PO, and they did do that for the third season. I'm not sure how they managed to operate Grogu as well. Like, I don't know if like the arms are false and then the actor has like Grogu, you know, like this, and then is in the suit, and then, you know, the hands are like hold the gun or something. You know, I'm not sure how they've gone about it, but it is going to be really fun. Oh yeah, we should talk about that too. As the true brought up. Not sure if you saw the Rupert Friend said in an interview, I think Ewan was absolutely born to play the part, and wonderful cameos from people I obviously can't tell you, but Easter eggs galore. So yeah, I gotta say, like you know, when it comes to Easter eggs galore, he may be just dropping what we already know. Like, because like you're not supposed to know Leia, you're not supposed to know about Bell Organa and Bria and Alderaan, and
yeah, people are taking that way too serious, man.
Yeah, and then we have, and then he may be even be talking about characters like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen and Darth Vader,
And Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk and Spock, Worf. I think Worf's in this. Worf.
I am not a merry man.
Yeah,
It's my favorite line of Worf line ever.
Data's in it.
There is no Data. There's only Zool.
Only Zool. Yeah, I dealt with her online. Many personalities inside of her. Not as fun as Dana though. Gotta say. Pimpstick Jr. Jangle says, serious question for Rob. Hey Rob, why does the U.S. military allow Fox News to play at army bases when most of it's right-wing, anti-democratic, fascist propaganda?
Well, I was out of the military as of 2001. So I would say this, that there's a lot of fascist bullshit assholes in the military now. And Chris Lito, the UFO guy, did a good 30, 40-minute rant about a general that he had to encounter while he was in the Air Force. He's an F-16 pilot.
He says his name too.
Pilot. Yeah, he named, and his experience with the general is about the same as the bullshit I had to deal with. So it always pained me to watch my father grieve over Vietnam because he served in Vietnam and he was a medic in Vietnam. And then also like be pro Reagan and it was like pro war. Like I'm like, what about Vietnam? Like I don't understand if my father ever learned the lessons, you know?
Right.
So I would also say that the military is not as the actual soldiers is 50-50. It's not as right wing as you'd think the soldiers are, but the command structure generally leans conservative because they make a lot of money and they get treated like fealty or like kings. They get free homes, right? They get paraded around. They get special treatments. We all once had to drop. There's a story Chris Lito tells about having to stop everything to do to go see a general. I won't ruin the outcome of that, but it's ridiculous. And I myself, we all once had to stop what we were doing and put on a parade for a general who just decided to show up like in a day. And I was the one who was late because I had the guide on, which is his flag. Yeah. And like held the whole fucking thing up because I was like, it was like in my room making Pop-Tarts, you know?
I obviously like I can't answer this question. I didn't serve in the military or anything like that, but I can tell you after a couple of years of watching the internet and this current generation of Star Wars, I don't know what you want to call it, YouTubers and website writers, I don't know whatever, is that there's a fuck ton of money to be made from telling people what they want to hear rather than what the reality of a situation is. And it's almost like a fucking LARP. Like they know it's not real. Somewhere down in their hearts, they know none of this stuff is true, but they're hearing what they want to hear, and they get that rage release of what they truly want to happen, and it happens.
And this is a little, hypothetical on my end, but generally it used to be the AFN, the Armed Forces Network, would be what would be playing in every room in an office when you come in. But even when I was in, half of the commercials, they would make their own commercials, would be about getting family support stuff. You can go to this office and get this to get help. A lot of because there's a lot of people on social programs in the military, like food stamps and all sorts of things that you need help with loans. And that does not buy into the
people don't join the military. Don't join the military because things are great. Usually.
Right.
It's like,
and I got a feeling like that sort of thing doesn't, the command structure probably doesn't want you hearing social stuff. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feed into the brainwashing that goes on. So there's always been a disconnect in the military. And I'm of the last generation, literally like right up almost to the month where we didn't go to war. We hadn't been in a war. I was in a military that was warless for almost 10 years. And it was the best, I would say, if you want to know what it was like for me. For the first 30, 40 minutes, there's a movie called Buffalo Soldier with Joaquin Phoenix and Anna Paquin and Ed Harris. The first 30, 40 minutes of that are very much my experience in the military. And then it goes off into movie land.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Tyrant says, wife and me watched Batman last night. It's probably my second favorite Batman movie. Great team. Giacchino and Fraser brought back beautiful memories of Tony Gilroy.
Greg Fraser. Guys, the connection here is Greg Fraser's cinematography on Batman and Greg Fraser's cinematography on Rogue One. So you can't say that. You just can't. They're intrinsically tied, you idiot. So also, Jason, we were talking about TV shows that then the movie goes down, becomes a TV show, becomes a movie. As I understand it, the current Batman series, there's 3 of them going down right now that are actually in active production. There's a Penguin series, used to be a Gotham PD, but now it's a Penguin series, which will feature Colin Farrell as that character. There's an Arkham Asylum series, which will feature that Arkham from the movie, and a Catwoman series featuring
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz, thank you. I see her mom every time I think of her. I just see
Lisa Bonet.
Yeah. In Bloodhaven, where she ends up leaving on the motorcycle, she goes to Bloodhaven, which is where Nightwing's from in the comics.
So what you're telling me is they've written Batman out.
I imagine he will cameo. You will get a cameo, but it may not be Pattinson. It'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, but you never know. I mean, it's HBO. It's HBO Max, and HBO tends to do things very cinematically.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't rule that out at all. What I would say is, I imagine these series will take place. That it'll be the gap between that 3 to 5 year gap between the next Batman film.
So how much Kenobi's in it? None is what you're saying?
Well, Reva takes over the whole show, so really it's 3 series about Reva.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's weird how these Batman movies could have like multiple villains in it, and it's all about.
She killed Batman's parents and trained Batman, and it's all about how she did that. Pulled that one off.
Right. Yeah. It's all happening.
She's fucking Alfred, so it's a love interest too.
She did know her dimensions. Oh, that was Batgirl. Star Wars makes it. I just realized this is the first stream in months where we can see Rob.
2 weeks ago.
And
what are you talking about? 2 weeks
Revenge
ago,
is it? Revenge guy is in the house. Oh, Revenge guy. Revenge guy. I'm down to do whatever whenever. I got your DMs, but I was doing Easter stuffs, And so I'm down for whatever, man. I ain't scared. But yeah. Yeah, I think we're kind of at a funny place here though with the old internet where like with Star Wars, like we
Mhm.
saw like we had like Mike Zero who kind of came up with everybody who was legit though. And then Mike Zero like eventually just was like, I don't have sources. I'm just gonna make stuff up and do this instead of a different job. And that's what I think really probably happened there. And then, but so people didn't know for time Meg Zero's fucking full of shit. They thought, oh, Meg Zero, like maybe he's something. But now we definitely know if you spend 5 minutes researching anything, Mike Zero's not like a reliable source. And but people need to pay attention to who plays on with your heart on purpose, who wants to make you mad, who wants to pull out the racism in people to like make money off of it. It's like fucking weird. It's just terrible, actually. Like especially like when I look at it from like my perspective, like knowing what I know. If I really wanted to go full in on that, God, I would be so good at it. And having the knowledge of what those things actually are that could be taken, but they don't even have that and they still play it. So it's pretty evil, I think. I also think if you're going to report leaks and on leaks, you should try to be on the side of them until obviously they're so egregious that you can't be. And just assuming that every leak is like bad and like playing under that, I think that kind of sucks too. At least it does to me.
I think I said this before, but maybe it's more of like an entertainment type of thing versus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're not
humor.
wrong. No, you're completely right. Like when you have a guy who puts on a mask and then like does fucking tarot cards to tell you what Kathleen Kennedy's doing with her life.
Mhm.
It's like
There's an
clearly,
idea.
yeah, clearly it's fucking yeah, clearly it's fucking like
like
not
that.
something that you like take seriously. But I think like the question that comes into play here is when it is like what are the ethics of that? You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like when you're purposely misrepresenting somebody else's art, like people could say
So
what I
long as
do is
the
unethical.
algorithm propagates false information for clicks, hate clicks or whatever, hate bait, whatever you want to call it, nothing will change.
Yeah.
So
It's not based around quality, it's based around bullshit.
would you say could be kind of like the Inquirer of
No,
Star
because
Wars
sometimes
fans?
the Inquirer has true stories in it. Sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Except that
Like-
dude was best friends with Trump, bro. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's probably why my tinfoil hat is that lots of people have had compromising material on Trump the whole time, and that's probably why he was able to become the president. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me in this fucking crazy world. Pimp Stick says, did you guys comment on the new Thor Love and Thunder teaser yet? It's not as awesome
not
as the
yet.
Ragnarok teaser, but Immigrant Song playing. Oh, that I heard the Guns N' Roses song and I was kind of like, fucking hate Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses suck. Fuck
It's a good
Axl.
trailer.
Fuck Slash is boring. But
And it's our first full cinematic look at the volume.
fucking Natalie Portman's still hot, even with the fucking dopey Thor mask on. Give her that.
I love it when he says you got to look at the people you love, and then he just slides into frame. It's so good. Taika is like timing with all that.
Yeah.
There's very few that are better, right? Like very few.
Yeah. So, as she says, Apple takes 30% off cuts on iOS, and that's why it's hard to do the app for those devices. Oh, yeah, that was one of the reasons that Fortnite's not on there anymore, right? Johannes says the Grand Inquisitor actor. Oh, and thank you, Johannes, for being a channel member. The Grand Inquisitor actor recently said in an interview that there will be many cameos and Easter egg. Yeah, it's. I don't actually buy it. Just to like reiterate, he like you aren't supposed to officially know about Leia, so what he's saying is true from a certain point of view, not ours.
That's
From-
a
from-
pun.
Is it a pun? I don't even know.
Oh my
but
God, I just got it.
He's saying that from the official standpoint, not from what we all
yeah.
know.
Officially, you're not supposed to know about Leia and Bel Organa and Alderaan and stuff like that. And
Partisans.
yeah, so
Forum.
and I have to throw it out there. I don't know what level of Star Wars fan this guy is. I doubt he even knows who the Partisans are or what a Saw Gerrera is. Most likely, most people don't. But they do know Princess Leia, and so what he's kind of like referencing and getting into is true. But Star Wars fans can't see past their own navel. They're a bunch of navel gazing man children. And they're like, that means Max Rebo and the Figure and Dan are in it. Who else is in it?
Crimson Dawn's in
Dexter
it.
Jetster is in it. Who? Oh, and
Crimson
Rats
Dawn.
Terrell, Ben Quadraneros. I think Ben Quadraneros is in this one, guys. I think it's
Ben
time.
Quadranero.
I'm not gonna lie. So Sebulba is definitely in this one, you guys. Sebulba, definitely Sebulba. And
Watto and Sebulba, they team up and
Yeah.
they're like they're the Obi team.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I got good Squid Head feelings. I feel like Squid Head is really gonna be in this one. But I'll tell you, more than likely, Lamb Head is all you're gonna fucking get. Lamb Head, praise Lamb Head, praise Lamb Head, praise Lamb Head. Because Sweet Child of Mine is played the fuck out. It is. Guns N' Roses. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say Guns N' Roses is not a good band, and never really was. Pretty fucking boring. And I was really, really happy when for about 6 months Nirvana was a thing. And that wasn't. It was nice. Remember when fucking Axl did that?
Jason,
that
at least it
wedding
isn't
song?
playing slowly and trying to creep us out. All right, can we stop with that Lana Del Rey shit? How about that? It's playing the song.
Sad piano
It's
note.
not like
piano note
you
versions.
know, yeah, creepily playing "Sweet Child of My." The creepy Thor kid comes up to kill everybody.
Let's
like
do
that
it.
shit.
Let's do it. Let's do fucking slow piano, Sweet Child of Mine. That little, I don't know what you call it, a Pergio, what the fuck that is. I'm not an Italian. Really look like a Mario brother, but it's gonna fucking it's gonna happen now. Yeah, you know what I hate is Force Awakens. Thanks for that fucking one piano note. Bink. And then, oh my god, what am I seeing? Bink. In trailers, so fucking dumb. It's like they don't realize it, but they've become in a world. That sad piano, bink, is in a world of the 2020s. So yeah, but
I saw the trailer for Nope when I went to see Everything Everywhere All at Once because it was playing all the A24 trailers.
Wait, is
Yeah,
Nope is the UFO one?
I was saying it's essentially Jordan Peele taking Skinwalker Ranch and making a movie out of it, right? Like,
yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the trailer yet, but I saw that. I'm like, well, this looks like it will be a fun time for me.
I really,
my wife will not be going to that.
I'm actually pissed at them for promoting that movie way too fucking early. Because as I talked about, I'm reading The Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, and I have to say right now, I am not saying I believe in the Skinwalker Ranch at all. Like but what I find interesting about it
bullshit.
is it's either it's two things are what make it super fascinating. And the first is that either there's a connection between UFOs and poltergeist activity, and the quote phenomenon is all one and the same, and it's actually a higher form of consciousness that is interacting with humankind, and that's fucking wacky, and for some reason that place is important and it's happening there, or it's a huge grift on the government using people with religious perspectives and values and Mormons' propensity to believe in space and taking all that and grifting on it. So either way you cut it, fascinating ass book. You know what I'm saying? Because of what it's laying out.
What is Skinwalkers?
So Skinwalker, it's a ranch, and is it in New Mexico? I can't. Is it Utah?
I don't know where.
I know the Mormons love it. But anyways, it's a fucking ranch, and
Utah.
It's probably Utah. Yeah. And anyways, what happens is it used to be owned by a Native American tribe, right? But two Native American tribes were like warring in the spot. One curses the other one there And then, as we know, white people come in.
This is
and
so Spielbergian. Like
it is.
This feels like the second draft of a Spielberg Poltergeist.
Oh,
too,
can
right?
I tell you? I have to tell you my fucking theory. I have a theory about this, by the way. But I'll tell you after. But anyways, so anyways, they said that these beings called the Skinwalkers would roam around and like fuck you up, I guess, and stuff, right? So it's like a cursed land and all this stuff. And then, but what happens is then you end up, but they have like they see UFOs there and poltergeist activity, like continually, and they have footage. Some of it's compelling, most of it's not. And they also like talk about like the trickster nature of the phenomenon there. Like, you know, you should be getting video, but you're not. It's moving the camera from you and just like fucking with you, like stuff like that. So anyways, it's mostly fun. It's like a fun paranormal thing to do. I don't know. It could easily be, it's more than likely a grift than it is actually real. But if it is real, big if true. Right. But anyways, but I have a theory, Rob. I have a theory about all of this. And so you have Jacques Vallée, Steven Spielberg hanging out, fucking partying, 70s, probably smoking some joints, talking about fucking UFOs. And his consultant, he's like, you know what? Making this character in Close Encounters about you. And Jacques Vallée's like, you know what? I'm fucking honored. I'm going to tell you all the secrets of the universe that I know. And he starts to go and do it, right? But look at the timeline. We go from Close Encounters to Poltergeist in a short amount of time.
1941.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like next, but I mean, but anyways, but the ideas behind
E.T.
the ideas behind Skinwalker Ranch is they can say continually every time they try to dig at Skinwalker Ranch, bad things come back on them. They start digging, and then like people get sick and their fucking hair falls out and they get like radiation burns and just crazy shit happens. So they're like digging is like supposed to be like a big thing. You don't dig at Skinwalker Ranch like without permission. They have to get ready and everything for it, right? What happens in Poltergeist? They start digging the pool into the ground, and then that's when all the poltergeist activity actually fucking goes insane once they start digging. And I kind of started to wonder if Jacques Vallée told Spielberg about any of the stuff, and Spielberg was like, well, I'm going to keep the genre separate, and didn't use it on Close Encounters, instead used it on Poltergeist. I need that. Spielberg, call me, baby.
Yeah,
call me.
I believe it. I also, like, people don't know, there was a treatment for Spielberg Poltergeist too, in which that house that had folded in had become like a Stargate to the paranormal.
Yeah.
And the military had commandeered it. And it's just one of the coolest fucking ideas I can imagine. Imagine a paranormal Stargate with kids. You know, like, and that's essentially when I look at Stranger Things, I'm like, well, that seems a lot like that idea.
Well, when Poltergeist 2 starts, you can see the ideas of that. Like the whole town, the whole street has moved away, and that area is quarantined off, and like a government official lets the Native American man onto the property.
Right.
So like they were kind of like, you could see like the remnants of that story still in the story. But I have a Star Wars connection that people may not know.
What?
So the guy who plays Kane in Poltergeist 2, not Ghostbusters 2, Poltergeist 2, he dies. God is in the holy temple. That guy?
Well, yeah.
He dies in real life. And
the guy Jesse thinks is Biden.
And
take a dig.
So Corey Burton, who's Cad Bane, does the voice of Kane in Poltergeist 2. Because he was dead, he couldn't do his ADR work.
That's right.
So they got Corey Burton, who plays Cad Bane, to be Kane. And I'm not sure. I wonder if he's Kane in Poltergeist 3. Also, RoboCop 3, that guy was Kane, wasn't it? Or was that RoboCop 2?
The less we talk about Robert Burke, the better.
Who?
The guy who played RoboCop in RoboCop 3 wasn't Peter.
Oh,
Robert
RoboCop
Burke.
3 was fucking.
I don't think I never saw that one.
I snuck into it. I didn't sneak into it. There was Regal or whatever it was. I can't remember if it was Regal. I think it might have been Regal. They had like a thing where you could buy a day pass to the movies.
It's a bar.
The Regal Beagle.
They had like they were selling like day passes, and I remember like watching a couple of movies that day, and RoboCop 3 was one of them. And once RoboCop 3 started rocket packing, that was when I got up and I left. Rocket packs and RoboCop, for whatever reason, as a kid, I was like, no, fuck no, not my RoboCop. Hashtag not my RoboCop, not my Luke Skywalker. My Luke Skywalker would never quit on America, ever. And when you let Han Solo die, you quit on America. Where's the super chats?
Oh,
Why isn't this working? I will tell you this: in my RoboCop is the star of the movie, not his lady cop partner, who happens to be a very effectual police officer. No, not in my America. My America, RoboCop is a cop.
By the way,
We're women.
one of the best deep fakes I ever saw was them deep faking Schwarzenegger's face onto RoboCop. So that it was a prequel to Terminator, and it fucking worked so well because their facial structure is so similar, you know, like Peter Weller and like that one. What are you doing? You think that's carne asada, or you think that's a vegetarian burrito?
Vegetarian.
I didn't see a burrito, friends. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm horny. Who cares?
It's a taco.
It's a taco.
Telling you, that's a meat-filled burrito.
Meat-filled burrito. All right. Well, you know, I think we're gonna call today's show a show.
Short.
For some reason, my kids get today off. They have a whole Easter break, and then they don't have to go back on Monday. Yeah, I don't know what
Easter break.
Right?
That's very new.
Vacation. But yeah,
Conservatives, Max.
But
taking over the school boards.
Will says Poltergeist, E.T., and Gremlins are all from the same script. True story. So wait, is there like one script that was written for something and all of the stuff is in there? If so, I need that script, Will. I need that script.
Yeah, and let's do a whole show on it. I'm being serious.
Yeah, I totally would do it. I love
a whole show on it.
I love all of those things. Anyways, yeah. So Max, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Sure, you're welcome.
Even though it was like video game stuff, and you're like, "What the fuck are we talking about?"
I was just listening. I learn.
Sometimes it's a show for us, Max. Sometimes it's a show for you.
I'm hanging up.
But thanks to everyone who's a channel member, everybody who supports the show. Much appreciated. I'll be back if anything big happens. We'll be back tomorrow with some Star Wars news. I know for most likely there's going to be something fun tomorrow hitting. And when that hits, I will be here to report it to you. It's not coming from me, but it's cool. It's fun. And
Obi-Wan trailer confirmed.
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's not. Nope.
Confirmed.
Nope.
Send us a super chats as a thank you.
We are of the opinion here that there will not be another trailer. That there will be multiple TV spots. Yeah, you're not. But we think that it will come in other forms. At the same time,
Great and Mighty Tour.
I hope
more this word that day. I'll tell you. I don't know the phrase, but you know, I don't know the words.
Well, you listen. You consult Tobin's spirit guide. Get back to me tomorrow, and we'll talk. And
Okay.
But thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.